Welcome back to another video. Today we are diving into lesson 10 in A Course in Miracles, and as always I'm super excited, and today's lesson actually reminds me a lot of some of the different teachings I learned while I was in India, so I'm excited to share some of that and dive in further with you. So let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Kara Michelle and I'm here to help you live your truth, and I'm super pumped to dive into yet another, or however we say that, amazing lesson. So today's lesson is my thoughts do not mean anything. And what's so powerful about this, as you've been seeing, we're really creating major awareness around the power that we give our thoughts. So I don't know about you, but for me, I used to believe that I was my thoughts. And so for the longest time, I just believed everything that was going on up here. And most of those things were actually very, very negative and keeping me stuck, feeling small, feeling inadequate, feeling unworthy. And I just kept believing that those things were true. So when I started to dive into mindfulness back in 2015, I think, and I was at this kind of breaking point in my life where I had been struggling so much with, anxiety, overwhelm, major insecurities and limiting beliefs. I was struggling with panic attacks and really being on this roller coaster of emotions all the time. And I realized that there had to be another way, there had to be a way through this. And I was quite desperate about not spending the rest of my life in this place. And so I started searching, I started traveling, I started looking at different Eastern methods for healing. And I went to India, I booked a one-way ticket to go do a yoga teacher training. I did energy work there. And studied a lot of different mindfulness, meditation, Reiki, all the things. And then I continued my traveling and my education, I guess, after that as well, to different countries. But one of the best parts of India was my meditation teacher, and he gifted me this book at the end of our time working together. And it's by Osho, and it's called The Way of the White Clouds. And what I love about this book is that, it dives into a lot of very specific situations and how to cultivate more mindfulness, how to see the perception, see the reality, to see that your thoughts don't actually mean anything. It's literally what you have attached to them. But my favorite part about it is that it's about seeing your mind as the blue sky and your thoughts are the clouds. So your mind, who you are, is just this beautiful canvas, this blank slate, this blue sky. And the thoughts are either like these white clouds passing through, like a thought about this, or a anxious feeling about that, or a doubt about this. And if we cling to it, it's going to become stronger, it's going to become bigger, it's going to become a dark gray storm cloud, right? Or if we just detach, if we realize it doesn't have to mean anything, we can just watch it pass by, and then we can go on our merry way in this blue sky mind that we've created. So this concept has drastically changed my life. When people look at me now, I feel like my mind looks very calm and I'm very present. I just enjoy the moment a lot. And it didn't used to be that way. I used to be so consumed by these thoughts or by these dark clouds. So this whole kind of process has absolutely changed my life. And it's just by cultivating awareness and realizing that I am not my thoughts. So with this lesson, it is very similar to one of the other lessons earlier on that we've already done, but we're really emphasizing that you are just like a blank. Your mind is very blank. And when you have this awareness, you can let go of the attachment and the suffering that's created because of what you believe. So such a beautiful part from this lesson is to go through the exercise, and then it says to say, this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. So if you're like, my thought about work does not mean anything, my thought about that argument yesterday does not mean anything. My thought about what I need to get done before XYZ does not mean anything, right? All of these thoughts don't actually mean anything. They just mean whatever we attach to them, whatever perception we give. So we have the power to decrease that stress or decrease those negative emotions that might be showing up around these thoughts. And it's going to bring so much freedom. So say you go through this for a few minutes and you're like, my thought about this does not mean anything. And you start to realize that you don't need to put such a stress or emphasis on these thoughts. Then you finish it off by saying, this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. And this is just so beautiful. It's so beautiful because realizing this is literally going to help release you from what you're currently believing. And this is why I cannot stress enough how important our mindset and our thoughts are in creating awareness of this, because 95, maybe 99% of the population are probably living in really negative thoughts and negative belief patterns. And if this is you, then you're not alone. Welcome to the club. But you can find a way through, and that's what is so important, what I'm so inspired about. So on a side note, if you're looking for more help with this, make sure you check out my free mindset training link down below, because I'm breaking down so much around this that's going to help you break free from this place, as well as my exact 3-step process to do this, because I've been there. I used to be part of that number. I used to be part of that community who was really stuck in their thoughts and stuck in a stressful and unenjoyable life because of it. But we have the power, and it all starts up here. So with this practice, with this lesson, really seeing my thoughts do not mean anything. My thoughts do not mean anything. And you might be triggered by this because you might be feeling stress, and there could be a very valid reason for your stress. But the whole point of this is realizing that your thought or your emotion about this experience really doesn't mean much, and it's not helping you. So you have the ability to detach from what you're holding on to so that you can actually step back and see the situation more clearly, show up more confidently, and realize that you are more empowered than you might feel, right? So instead of letting this thought dictate the rest of your day or pull you down into this really negative spiral, you have the power to catch that thought, to realize that this thought doesn't actually mean anything, and that you don't have to cling to it, you don't have to allow it to stress you out that much, and separate from it so that then you can take a solid action from a more empowered and confident place. So I'm going to leave it there for today's lesson. Just remember, this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. So you have the power to release yourself from all of the negative beliefs, all of the doubts, all of the things that are keeping you stuck. And I hope you can also hold on to that visual from the Osho book and just see that your mind is this beautiful blue sky. Every morning when you wake up, you are presented with the opportunity to have a clean slate and a fresh start. And I mean, you can do that throughout the day. You don't have to wait until tomorrow morning. But just as an example, it's that blue sky. That's what it looks like. That's how it starts. That's the purity of your nature, of your true form. And those thoughts are just clouds. You do not have to give them the full power, and you don't have to believe them. So one of the best things you can do is start to question those thoughts and question if they're actually true. If you're an overthinker, again, like I used to be, the best thing I did was start to use my overthinking for good. So instead of overthinking myself into a really negative spiral and feeling crazy anxious and overwhelmed to the point where I felt sick and didn't want to leave the house, instead of letting my overthinking go down, I used it as a way to learn more, to empower and challenge. So I would overthink about, where did this thought actually come from? Why do I believe that this thought is true? Is this actually serving me? Are there moments in my life that are proof that this isn't true, like proof of the opposite? And use your overthinking to basically debunk the belief that you're telling yourself. instead of telling yourself I'm not good enough and then going down the rabbit hole thinking of a million examples in your life and a million things to validate that, you question it. Well, wait, why do I think that I'm not good enough? You know, where did this come from? What are some examples of when this started in my life? When did I continue to repeat or validate this even more? Is it actually 100% true? Or is there some falsity? Is that a word? Is there something to this that isn't true? Are there examples in my life that prove the opposite? Is there even one single moment where I felt worthy? And can I cling to that and use that to lift myself up and realize that I do have the potential, I am good enough, I can start to focus my energy and my attention in a different way. So use your overthinking for good, detach from the story of your thoughts and beliefs, and focus on something that's going to actually help you thrive and help you move forward. So I hope this was helpful for you. It might sound simple, maybe it doesn't, but as far as mindfulness goes, it really is one of the greatest things that you can learn to decrease your stress and anxiety. So I really hope you give this a try. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you found this helpful. Please feel free to comment down below, share your own experience with this lesson or with thoughts in general, and detaching in mindfulness and creating that healthy separation from your thoughts. And I will see you tomorrow on the next video. Bye guys.